Antiquity Unveiled, the most marvelous revelations of the 19th century concerning the origin of Christianity by Jonathan Manning Roberts. Now, Ptolemy Philadelphus is what we were going into today, and hopefully more chapters, right? I see that I have reached and surpassed 666 subscribers. And I'm not going to do a separate 666 subscribers video because I've so heavily addressed the symbolism in 603 score 6 playlists. I've talked about what the original number in that verse of Revelations was, what a theory of it is, various things that attach the number value of it, such and such occurrences, 666 verse, 666 chapter, various things. Good day. Humility is one of the attributes of true greatness. Therefore I come here today, after the lapse of centuries, to try to bring to you as much light as possible under the circumstances. I was born and brought up in a way that developed in me a taste for literature. I was absorbed by a passion for books, and through my library keeper, Demetrius, I succeeded in securing about 280,000 rolls or books. What did all this vast mass of learning do to benefit humanity? There are no religious systems existing today, but what obtained the principal parts of their creeds and tenets from the Alexandrian library. Learned men of all nations and religions resorted to Alexandria, and from them I brought the principal works relating to their religions. In the course of time, those men, after investigating the works on religion in the Alexandrian library, modified and remodeled their respective religions. If you examine the ancient Egyptian coins of the date of my reign, you will find myself and queen represented as divine brother and sister. In order to preserve the cast of features of the royal family unaltered, it was regarded as necessary to marry your own sister, and Arsinoe was my sister. I always desired to receive the truth, come whence and from whom it might. I intended, had not my life ended too early, to accomplish the work, to have founded a system of morality and spirituality, to compromise all that was good, true, and valuable in the religions of every people that I could reach. I would have saved untold numbers of human lives and would have led the development of mankind to a point far beyond that which has been reached today. Spiritual mediumship has been the light of all nations and of all peoples through all time. The nation or sect that scorns mediumship may flourish for a time, but they will soon perish beneath the wheels of progress. I had another object in making the vast collection of books before mentioned. I expected to be able to furnish to the world a legal code that would have established justice and abolished human slavery. It was this that caused me to liberate 100,000 Jews. But to accomplish this Herculean task, a mortal life was too short, amid the bigotry and ignorance of my age. Since passing to spirit life, I have been seeking mediums and have manifested myself through them, but never before have I found a medium I could control so well as the present one. Well, obviously, you gotta compliment the person who's leading, or you gotta compliment the person who's, which of course is the person saying, you compliment yourself if you're going to be a fake medium, and you compliment the group that you're talking to. You are absolutely correct in the stand you have taken regarding the Christian religion, and the more you search out and investigate the matter, the more positive will become the conclusion that the Christian religion is the outgrowth of the library of Ptolemy Philadelphus. You can then throw down the gauntlet and challenge the world to an investigation of the facts. I will also say that your chronological tables are not correct. Perhaps at some future time, I may be able to return and again communicate with you, when I will prove to you by comparing the works yet in existence that you were not living in the 19th century of the Christian era, but in the 22nd century. The originators of the Christian religion were many, each contributing something to the aggregate of what it represents. Ptolemy, in the reign of Augustus, more than 200 years after the enterprise of projecting a new religion that should take the place of all previous religions that had been begun, arrange the incongruous materials in what he called the eclectic system of religious observances and maxims. I am Ptolemy Philadelphus. And, well, we have the New Age movement, don't we? We have the... well, let's not look at the historical appearance and the supposed appearance of Judaism, per se, as the codified conservative movements. How do you... the founding of Christianity, I don't think that can be set forward. And let's remember two things. The pure blood thing. There are some ailments and stuff like this, but this pure blood of the royal families or of a race, or hey, maybe all you have in your ancestry is one race of the 19 races, or one subspecies, or one whatever, or even, you have lineage of such and such family. It doesn't help your spiritual status one bit. And if you're going to resort to incest, to the very point of places like New Jersey allowing people to have sex with their parents once they turn 18 and marry their siblings, and a bunch of other states allowing you to marry your aunts and your uncle, it's like, oh, everybody knows this. No, they don't. Look at what's going on. And you got to be careful about marrying your first cousin. If there's some family ailment, you shouldn't do that sort of thing. Cousins isn't incest, according to any, but the laws, again, have extended even second and third cousins in some areas, I think, but I don't think third reaches anywhere in America, but and obviously somebody you can't marry and have children with, you shouldn't be marrying, which is a huge reason, if siblings in New Jersey can get married, is a huge reason why I do not accept marriages of a legal variety as spiritually valid. When this communication was received, we had no knowledge of the history of such a king beyond the fact that he reigned in Egypt at some period of history. The communication seems to settle the disputed question as to whether Demetrius was really the keeper of the Alexandrian library under Ptolemy Philadelphus. In fact, a fact which has been strongly questioned, and which is another example of the manner adopted by these ancient spirits to correct history as it has come down to us, and give us information that has been obtained in no other way. The value of this communication is not to be estimated lightly. We call the attention of our readers to the accounts now extant of that vast library bearing upon the history of antiquity. When we realize the difficulty attending the collection of books and manuscripts in ancient times compared with the present, we can readily understand that what a valuable collection it was for that period. 3 times this vast accumulation of literature was destroyed, but not before many learned men had visited it and founded new systems of religion upon knowledge there obtained. The library was considered the most valuable in existence, and even today's scholars bemoan its destruction, although not giving credence to the report that it was destroyed by the Christian Vandals in the interest of their religion. Today, the world is agog because of the discovery of a few lines of ancient manuscript in Egypt. We refer to the manuscript lately discovered by Mr. Petrie, founded in the sands of Fayoum along western Egypt, some of which are to be seen in the Egyptian collection of the University of Pennsylvania. In these manuscripts, reference is made to 35 lines of Iliad, 5 of which is obtained by scholars are not in existence, and the copies of which have come down to us from being copied and recopied by the Alexandrine and Byzantine scribes, also with 4 or 5 pages of Plato found at the same time. The discovery is made that Plato's text, as we have it, was touched up to the suit of the taste of the different critics and writers. If scholars admit these facts, how much ground it gives to the statements of these ancient spirits that their manuscripts have been mutilated and interpolated in copying in the interests of the Christian church by its writers until they have entirely lost their original meaning at many points. Yet how little information obtained in the above-mentioned and recently found manuscripts by Mr. Petrie is compared with what has been obtained through these spirit communications, which, if accepted, will bring knowledge to the world of the greatest importance and settle once for all the truth as to the source from whence the Christian religion sprung. And, of course, Pontius Pilate is on the list here, and but there's a truth in the various things being said. Mark W. Messi, he has said that was he one of those that said that the Quran had stuff that you see part of it some places and part of it other places, but you don't have this whole package of beliefs except in various scholars have said the same without accepting Islam, that certain beliefs are found here and here, but Islam has them. And the Alexandrian library, I guess, without being a single religion, was one of those instances. I was going to say something else, but that's